An extremely disappointing loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers last night at home with the 1 seed in the East on the line. They fall to the Sacramento Kings. For the second time in a month, they lose to Sacramento. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest. Upset, disappointed, not happy with the performance by the Cavs last night as they fall to the Kings 120 to 113. It was closer than that score says, but it also was farther away than that score says. Really, really tough stuff. Don't usually do game breakdowns on this channel. Tough to react. We will more in the playoffs, but I thought this one was worth talking about. The Cavaliers, a disastrous game, a disappointing finish, a disappointing night in a lot of ways, and there's a ton to go over in this one. So definitely need you in the comments here, want you in the comments here talking about what you saw happening, what you thought about this game, whether it be the refs, the lineups, Donovan Mitchell's injury, this, that, the other. There's a lot to break down. And a loss to Sacramento at home. Why? That's my first thing. Why do we have to talk about this game? Either way, drop down in the comments, and also be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest. Coming in hot for the playoffs, over 2,000 subscribers. Great community in this channel, so I'd like to continue that and grow that as we head to bigger and bigger games. So, moving forward, as I said, Cavaliers taking the L last night against the Sacramento Kings, 120 to 113. Again, it's win, seal up the number 1 seed in the East, and I mean maybe if they want they can compete for the 1 seed in the NBA, but I don't think they're overly concerned with that. I guess let's start with the reffing as I kind of organize my stuff here. Let's start with the refs. I understand that's the biggest thing, right? Everybody's upset about the Zach LaVine past the shot clock moment at the end of this game as he laid it up and in. First things first, my personal belief when it comes to the refs, calls, holding, shot clock violation, reviews, all of it. And I know the big thing is they reviewed Donovan Mitchell's foot on the out-of-bounds line, but they wouldn't review this. My historic stance, and stance in the past, stance in the future, high school, college, pros, if you don't want the refs to cost you a game, do not give them the opportunity. Okay? And especially in basketball, they don't have as much of an opportunity to do that. They can do the foul calling and this, that, and the other. If you don't want it to come down to a Zach LaVine millisecond, really close, should I add, shot clock violation, review and no review, and don't let Zach LaVine blow by you at the top of the key and easily lay it in. Okay? Don't get in the position where you're losing to the Kings at the end of the game with the 1 seed on the line because you shot 26% from 3 at home to the Sacramento Kings. If you don't want the refs to cost you a game, don't set yourself up so at the end of the game when you're shooting 26% from 3 and Donovan Mitchell's had to go in and out with injury and has to come out and play and you have more turnovers, the refs have it in their hands and they can make the decision for you. That's my personal stance. I understand the logic of the challenging and the shot clock violation and the replay. And don't let him blow by you for an easy bucket at the end of a game. Played no defense on DeMar DeRozan, no defense on Zach LaVine. It was ridiculous. It was embarrassing. Everybody was really excited. I was at this game again. Everybody was really excited, really pumped up, and they just right away were missing shots, easy shots. Classic Cavalier buckets, right? That Evan Mobley double spin turn fadeaway lay-in missed. That Garland 3. That Mitchell, which we get into as we kind of move off the refs thing. Mitchell dashing to the basket through 3 guys. They started reading it. They said, we're done with this guy sidestepping us. We're blocking him when he does the second sidestep. And then Mitchell's on the ground. He's got his arms out. He's asking for a foul call. No, you ran into 4 dudes for the 5th time and tried to sidestep them, and they called you out. They failed to clinch the number 1 seed in the East at home against the Sacramento Kings. That's what it is. That's what it is on paper. You shot 26% from 3 at home in a game that could mean so much to them. And if you want to say, relax, they'll do it against Chicago, and could have been done. They were easing into this. They had Jarrett Allen playing half games over the weekend, so they could just ease into this. And now they don't have that opportunity. They got punked. They got punked by the Kings. They punked themselves as we move to Kenny Atkinson's part of the program here. The guy's done so much for the Cavaliers this year. He's done such a great job coaching. He identified the energy was off. He identified there were some problems. What he failed to identify is a simple change, and that was Isaac Okoro for Sam Merrill. And I want it to be understood here, if you've got me petitioning for Isaac Okoro minutes, we have a real problem. A real problem. I don't like Isaac Okoro. I don't think he can hang in a playoff scenario. I don't think he's earned his contract. I think the Cavaliers just didn't know what to do with him, so they kept him. He didn't play much last night. He needed to play more. Sam Merrill was bad. Bad. Constantly checking out. And I thought to myself, what did Sam Merrill do in that little stint of time? Looking at Merrill's stats, 16 minutes felt like way more. 0 of 3, all from 3, and 2 rebounds. And that's it. Almost put up the Tony Snell game. Almost. So close. So close in that one. Okoro still got 18 minutes, scored 7 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. He was 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. Give him Merrill's minutes. And again, I'm a known Okoro hater. Better on defense than Merrill is, for sure. I'll admit that any day of the week. And he was shooting better. Merrill was giving you nothing. And yet he's in there late taking threes. Not good. Not good. The other quote from Atkinson for me, talking about energy. How many times are they not going to have the energy to finish this thing? I completely understand the scenario. It is the end of the season. They've won their 60 games. They're trying to just seal up the 1 seed and go to the playoffs. I can appreciate that. To have to constantly get your coach to play bad guy and get you fired up and throw water bottles at the wall and get mad at them, just not good. Not good. You should know what's on the line. You should understand what's on the line. They've known it all season. They've done a great job switching off all season, and all of a sudden they can't. And I'm confused about that. Ty Jerome had the hot hand multiple times, and I feel like all season long when Ty Jerome's had the hot hand, guys have fed him. Instead, he had to kind of work for his shots and wait and wait and wait and then get his opportunity. Different. Something was different about him. The energy in the crowd was exhausted. They were tired of watching bad basketball. They were tired of watching Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan smoke them. It was really a disaster. It really was a disaster. And for people that had a busy Sunday, or you were watching the Guardians, or you checked in late, I'm sure, hey, how'd they blow into the Kings? There's been a couple of games where I thought, how'd they lose this? I saw tonight. I saw that inability to get up, that inability to adapt, taking the same shots over and over even though you're not hitting them, even though the defense is snuffing them out, not getting the ball to the hot hand, not getting the ball to the right guy. For Donovan Mitchell to get hurt, what looked serious, by the way, bangs into the table, gets off, and struggles to walk away, and he had to come back and play, missing free throws down the stretch, may I add. Just not good. Not good. A disastrous game for the Cavaliers. You can drop down into the comments. Thoughts on Isaac Okoro not playing? Thoughts on the refs, I guess, even though I gave my take on that. Thoughts on the Cavaliers? Am I overreacting? It was really a disastrous game. It was to me. Seal up the 1 seed, start resting your guys, and let's get ready for the East. Instead, we got to worry about it once again. Donovan Mitchell has to play another 30-minute game against the Chicago Bulls because they couldn't get it done against the Kings at home. We'll check back in as the Cavaliers continue to pace to the playoffs here on Cavs Digest.